Well, as I'm trying to get this song to play, I was like, oh, maybe I should go live because this will be some fun content. EPWK scanners, right? So just came across the scanner. The market was selling off, whatever, and I see this thing go by. So I'm like, hey, what's this? I'm like, oh, wait a second, what is this? An IPO that's breaking all-time highs in this market? I'm in. Immediately gets halted. I'm like, oh God, let me go see what I just bought. It's a Chinese IPO. And if you read the description of the company, it basically doesn't say anything. It's just just a bunch of words. It says systems and solutions over and over again. It's basically they copied and pasted somebody else's description of their company and put it on their website. Then the website's all in Chinese, which is never helpful. But then I hit Google Translate, and the website looks like a slot machine, just a bunch of shit going all over the place. But meanwhile, it's an IPO that's breaking all-time highs. You're in, right? So it gets halted. I survive the halt. It comes out of the halt, opens at 6. I'm like, all right, cool. I go to sell 500. I wound up selling the whole 1,000 that I had. All right, cool. Rips to like 6:30, gets halted again. I'm like, I don't really want to be involved in this. And then it comes out of the halt at 6:30 and doesn't budge. I'm like, oh, maybe I should buy it back. No. And now it's at 875 and ripping, and they're fighting through all the halts. And this thing's probably going to $10. And I wish I was on live with you about 20 minutes ago, but I'm sitting there trying to find cool pictures of me and my kids. And I just found a whole roll of my son graduating from first grade or from like pre-K. It's so funny. Now he's graduating college, and I'm still sitting here like a nudnik. But yeah, this is the only business where you could make $502.11 in basically a minute and a half, and then 20 minutes later you feel like a loser. I just did this whole thing on TikTok about how the anguish that I go through, it's almost to the point where I'm probably better off not doing any of it. Just be the carnival barker of information and awesomeness, and that's my purpose in life. It really is. I'm better at putting other people in front of these ideas. And if you think this SRAD is a coincidence, no, no, it's because I bought it. They're like, oh, he just bought a stock and he likes the company and he's holding it overnight. Let's do an offering. And they do an offering. I mean, first time I've owned the stock for more than 2 hours since I don't know, since Lunar. I don't even remember when I sold the Lunar, but this EWK, absolutely a fake company. No doubt. They say they have 180 employees. Yeah, sure they do. But if you read the description of the company, it doesn't even describe anything. It just says the word services and systems over and over and over again. Oh, then also, by the way, we also service and provide systems to provide other systems and services to services and system providers. That's exactly what it said. But yet the stock just broke 5, which is an all-time high, and 5 gets you 750, 750 gets you 10, and this fucking thing is ripping. And if I was in it, if I didn't take my quick $400-500 on it, they would have announced that owning the stock causes cancer or something, and it would be at 0 right now. It's incredible. It's incredible. And for a second, I thought I didn't sell at all. I thought I had the last 100 shares, and I thought I had 100 shares. I just read my little. I don't really watch my P&L or my stuff that I should be watching. I know if I'm making money or not on the day. I thought I had 100 shares left. That 100 shares now, I was in from 543, is almost as much as I made on the full 1,000. Pathetic. But here you got some sellers now. But wild day, right? We went from not thinking that the Tesla trade was going to fade, and oh, did it fade? And then it faded some more, and then some more. I took a shot because I'm a robot. All right, stocks report earnings that are gapped up, breaking VWAP. All right, I'll give it a shot. By 250, 250, I'm thinking, all right, that's good. And then by 250, I'm done, and 247.50, 245. But then, and the Qs were actually ripping at the time. Then, like the Qs had a little delayed reaction. And at the same time, Tesla faux show broed. I know I'm not showing you the charts, but suffice it to say, we bought the Tesla, and the 10 points we should have made on the downside made on the way up. I mean, again, sold into the move, same process. But then this idea that, okay, this market's probably going to hang in there. I'm not looking to short anything. And then suddenly the market had this crazy blip, and then it fought it back. And I was like, they're making it real difficult to want to be a shorter right now. I think we got a short. And then it rolled. And let me show you the roll and the confirmation. So this is where it all happens. And I'll be right back. Let me just try to find this for you. Speaking of graduation. Here's this stock we just bought. I bought this first move right here. I just saw it breaking highs. I was like, ooh, what's this? I'm in. And then it got halted. You couldn't even sell it if you wanted to on that first move down, right? And basically it faux showed. And I sold into that move right here. That's me selling right before the halt, 608. Came out, blipped for a second. I thought about buying again at 608. I would have sold into the move at 7. Maybe I would have held, but obviously it was a pretty crazy move. But more importantly, this Tesla move, right? So if you're playing the fade, if you heard what I was saying today, I was kind of scared to play the fade because the bullishness was just so massive. This was a big move. I didn't think you were going to get it. I really didn't. But that's what separates me now from being the trader I used to be to the trader that I am now, a little bit better now than ever. I don't care what I think. Thinking is a waste of time. I like when I'm right and something happens and confirms, but here, so when I saw Tesla already did a faux show, bro, VWAP break, held VWAP, rallied, pulled back, double bottomed that VWAP, held it, broke. I'm not thinking we're going to pull back anything more significantly than maybe down to the 253 area, right? So it already started selling off right before the open, and then it broke VWAP. So, give it a shot. The idea of the fade is you're just shorting the open and you're using prior candles as your high. So if you were shorting right there, which was 254.40, the top of that candle was basically 255.20. If it would have ticked above 2, you immediately cover it. But you got paid. And I'm covering. I mean, in that minute candle, I'm out of half the trade. Because at this point, I'm thinking, all right, 250, 250, that's awesome. Because I really didn't think it was going to do much on the downside. And my thought forced me to not try to milk the trade a little bit better. But then what I thought was going to happen gets confirmed by the VWAP break. So what I thought was going to happen, if there was a fade, give me a chance to buy the stock, and the price that I liked it was 247.50. So look how beautiful. There's the faux show, bro. Let me get rid of all these candles for you. I mean, this stuff. I'm doing this on YouTube. You guys can watch it later. So here, right? And again, as I was explaining this morning to Dave, who I'm not sure he'll be back, But I was saying, I'm probably going to have to buy some gapped up stocks today, as long as they give me a reason to buy. I don't mind buying stocks that are already gapped up, especially if they sell off and set up the faux show bro, which I heard works out every time it shows up. Here it is again, right? So if you don't know what the faux show bro is, right? Stock makes a significant low, meaning it bounces significantly off a spot. That's a low. And then it breaks that low, causing those people that were using that original stop as they're out. So they're getting stopped out of their long trade. Very disappointing for them. Oh, couldn't break VWAP. Oh my God. And it rolls over. The shorts say, oh, look at this piece of shit rolling over. I'm going to get short right there. There. Not you could see me pointing my finger, but there, over there, where the mouse is, there, right there. Right? And it does go a little bit lower and it's grinding around, grinding around. So it's kind of like the fake out shakeout, but you held the shakeout area. You broke a little bit lower, but in this chop, you got shorters who are thinking, all right, this thing's going to give way. The longs are like, all right, we better sell. And then it starts to rally. So I'm buying it right here. I preempted a little bit by buying at 247.50, just a big fat algorithmic number. 247.50 gets you 250. What I really liked was when it got over this candle. That was 248.20. So I added a little bit. And then at 249 and a quarter, I'm selling. We got back to the VWAP. So I sell a little bit right there because usually when you retrace to the VWAP, right, you're going to get people who bought it here are going to sell it here, and the algorithms are doing the same. So I lightened up. At this point now, I've got my 350 shares, whatever it was, 300, 250 or 350, selling 50. And now I'm thinking, all right, now I could lock in. The high print of this candle is 248.20. So I'm thinking 248. If I have to dump the whole thing at 248, I will. No stops. I'm trying not to use stops anymore because it's ridiculous when stocks go right to my stop, gets me out, and then rallies without me. So, and in this case, once again, jiggling and shuffling. Here it breaks the VWAP. Now I'm thinking, hey, 250, I sell another 50 shares. Why not? Now I can't lose on this trade if it rolls back over. But here is where I was actually thinking about getting back into the full allotment, go back to 400, maybe even add to it, because this moment right there, that's confirmation of strength. Once it broke VWAP, came back and held it. And also the market started cooperating too. And what you thought you might have missed on the downside, you didn't miss shit, baby, because that was a rip. I ain't going to pretend I'm out 240, 250. And I was pretty damn happy about it. I had 80 shares left. And I was saying, I'm never going to sell it. I'm never going to sell it. And then it went to 257.50. I sold 20 more shares. And then it broke back on the 247.50 and I was out 257.50. But you see what it just did now, right? In the midst of the market kind of selling off, right? And you got a decent sell-off. And let me show you the sell-off. I think the red line should be up there still. Everything about that sell-off, all the market did, it was so wild because it felt like the market was getting slaughtered and we were still up 10 on the Qs. That's how huge this day is. We were up 18 points on the Qs, and we had a 10-point sell-off. But look at all the levels where we went. All the levels that we hit, I was putting these lines up there for the targets on the way down for anybody that was shorting. I didn't short. And I missed my entry, missed the entry. Some of the other traders did it. And then look, it just got to that first point, got to that second low. That's where I was like, ooh, we're breaking the 930 low candle. Normally I'm a shorter there. I didn't bother. And then you went back to the 815 level that held, bounced off that, broke that. And then from there, all the levels where you held from before are the levels that you got to. And then that final one where it was basically the 4 o'clock area, it went right to that same print. And lo and behold, that's where the buyers really made their stand. And now you've got a full retrace back to that same area from where you broke down from. So really good action. I didn't participate in any of that. But what I did participate in was this weird IPO, which was crazy, and Tesla, because I am super bullish this stock. And if you're going to faux show bro 2 times in one day, I'm in. So thank you. Right? You went below below the prices. I actually got to buy I actually got to buy a stock back cheaper from where I sold it. Amazing. And fake out, shake out, back above the VWAP, little jiggle, rip, test, right? I'm already in right over here, 52.50, 52.65 area. Sold a little bit, pulls back, holds the VWAP. Now I'm absolutely convinced we're about to go to 255, sold. 257.50 is going to be where I sell again. And now that I'm back down to, let's say, 100 or 50, I would 50 shares probably. I only got 50 shares left because I'm selling in 50 share increments. One of these times, I'm just going to hang in there with the stock. I like it. I want to own it. And I think generational lows are in. What? Generational lows, I think, are in. Generational lows, meaning this stock will never, ever, ever in our lifetime break the price that it held last night. And I mean it. But I am not a really good swing trader or an investor, so it'll probably go to zero if I hold, even if I hold these 50 shares over the next couple of days, something bad will happen. But I like it, and the action is it's super bullish. So that's the only thing I did this afternoon. And Hertz. Now, Hertz, I know this might, enrage a few of you, or you might get a laugh out of it. I'm thinking call spread. I know. He said it out loud. I said it out loud. Call spreads. I know. The dumbest trade. Why? If you guys know anything about call spreads, why are they the dumbest trade? You're capping your gain, first of all, right? You remember what happened with the rigatoni and the quantum stocks? I had $3, $7 call spreads, and you're thinking, holy shit, I'm risking $1.50 or $1 to make $4. That's a great trade until the stock goes up 30 points without you and you're getting called out. Or what's worse about the call spreads are when you buy options, you don't want to be in long term. Options are disintegrating assets, right? So the quicker your trade happens as an option buyer, the better. The call spread makes you stay in the trade because now if you do, let's say you do an 8-12 call spread on Hertz, the next day it pops to 12. Yeah, you're making money on the 8s, but those 12s that you sold just to pay a little bit for those 8s, you're getting smoked on the 12. So you don't sell. So the next day, if the stock gives it all back, you just wasted the trade and then it rolls over and dies. You just wasted a good trade. That's what happened to me on Lunar and SOUN and Sedge and every other call spread. So that's two reasons why call spreads suck. Or again, you're capping your gain, stock rips and you get called out, or you're trapped in a stock that you should be taking profit on, but you don't want to take the loss on the call side that you wrote. You understand where I'm going? You guys understand what call spreads are, right? But if you're content with it, right? If you're content with it, I got one for you. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to do it because Hertz has been paying me pretty well today. And I've been trading the stock well for the last 4 or 5 days, except for that first day where I had to run out of the office. It was funny because I had to leave. And I was like, oh, I sold the Hertz because I had to leave the office. And again, somebody was talking about trading. He only trades an allotted amount of time. And I get that. You want to be done by a certain time. But you can't get into a trade and say, all right, I'm going to stay in this trade for 45 minutes. That's not how trading works. Trading works. The stock does whatever it wants to do. And you participate in its moment. You can't dictate what the stock's doing. Well, I'm going to hang in this stock for an hour and 15 minutes, and wherever it is, and I'm going to get out. You're a loser. There was a guy talking about how that's how he gets in. He's only going to be in it for a certain amount of time. That's ridiculous. But that day, I had to leave and I had to sell it because I didn't want to stay long. Hertz charts while I was away from the desk and blah, blah, blah. And that's when it popped 100% in the aftermarket. But it's been hot ever since the little shake and bake. But you want to see something cool? I'm going to show it to you because it's very, very, it's too interesting not to talk about because it's a way to participate in the Hertz long, which it looks like. You want to see something cool? This stock looks like it's got something going on here, obviously. Durr. But look at the long-term chart. This is a 3-year chart. You got your Andy Dufresne. You got your Kardashian bottom. And that's why I was liking it in the first place. I didn't care about the activist or whoever was buying it. And by the way, Q is just awesome right now. I didn't care about all that news. I just care about the charts. The catalyst, yeah. But look where it went. 3-year VWAP, bang. Now you're consolidating at a higher level. If you can get through the 945, right, then you're looking at the 10 and a quarter and the 1085. You see these monstrous down days that it had? The bigger the moves to the downside, just like that Carvana trade, the bigger the moves to the downside, the easier it is to get back in there and get back to the real level where it broke down from, which is here. That's 1450, Holmes, right? So take a look at this. You could get yourself, I know, I've already lost most of you right now. But you can get yourself, right? Let me show you this. This is just too good to be true. I mean, I like it. You want to own Hertz for a couple of weeks? How about 3 weeks for $1? So the 950s, no, wait, it was the May 16th, 950s. That was us, 115, right? Got him at 115. Again, this is hypothetically speaking. This is when I was starting to set up the trade. I think somebody might have done it. 115, right? You could go out, right? You're buying the 950 for 115. Now you could go all the way to where you think the stock's going to go, right? Ooh, hang on. The 14s, it was the 18s. Sorry, yeah. 18s at the time when we started this conversation. Oh, wait. And they're still 20. And that's a couple of us doing this trade. So you could do a 950, 18 call spread, right? By the way, EPWK is going to $10. Unbelievable. It hit $9.99. You fake Chinese bullshit fucking stock. Unbelievable. By the way, if it breaks 10, it goes to 12.50. But in this case, right? So you'd be happy if the stock went to $18. You're on a 950 call for basically $1. I don't think anybody's going to complain if this thing goes to 14 or 15 bucks. So for $1, 950, 18, May 16 Hertz call spread, and you're in. And now you got the stock for $1. Stock goes to 0, you're out $1. Stock goes to 12 or 13 bucks, you risk $1. And imagine it does go to 18. You just risked $1 to make 9 points. And the stock is obviously in play. So and here's the kicker. I ain't doing it. So it's better for you. It's better for you that I don't do it. Anyway, EWPK. And by the way, you will hear EWPK. I swear to you, and I know you will, if you guys are on as many email lists as I am. I get so much spam. I guarantee you 3 different individual companies will tell me that they alerted their people to this stock at $4, the low of the day. At 5:10, they gave them the alert, and they all just sold it right at $9.99. All of them. Because the internet always buys stocks at the lows and sells it all at the highs. Always. The internet never loses. But again, I just picked it right off the scanner. I took 2 seconds. I was like, holy shit, what's this? I'm in. I'm not embarrassed to say I got in at 550, right? I'm embarrassed to say I sold it at 608. I mean, I could have bought it back. I just chose not to. And that's some more of the day. And here's another one for my friends that were watching ENPH, the joke of the day, right? As I was saying, this is the kind of stock that has zero reason to bounce, zero reason to go up. It's the doggiest, dirtiest, disgusting stock on the planet. This whole solar industry is going to zero with the weed stocks. It'd be a perfect setup for a buy. And now this is one of those unique moments where I talk about how I started chat rooms so other people could witness the psychotic shit that goes on in my life. Get this one. So it faux shows. I missed the original bro VWAP breaking moment. This is where my boy Dave was supposed to be buying it. He doesn't get a print at 46.60. He gives up on the trade. I don't know why. But then it breaks the 930 high. One of the first trades. This is the dip and rip. This is the original trade. This is the OG Kenny Glick special. Faux show, bro. We used to call it the dip and rip. Prior to VWAP, this is circa 1997. I'm that old. 1997 through 2000, that's all you needed because the market did one thing almost every day. It would start up, slightly gapped up. They would sell off the gap. It would come back, break the 930 high, and rip. And then every once in a while, you'd break a new low, then come back. And that's where me and my boy Robbie Krieger, if you're out there, what's up, my man? Not the guy from the Doors, the other Robbie Krieger. He says he invented the faux show, bro. I'm pretty sure I said it first. Faux show, bro. Fake out, shake out. But now the reason I love this trade so much is that you're getting a real reason, algorithmic reason. First name Al, last name Gorithmic. You're getting an algorithmic reason to buy too, because you know stocks that are gapped down on earnings when they break VWAP tend to go up, baby. Right? So now you got the faux show, bro, VWAP break. And I missed this first beautiful candle, but 930 high break, Dave. Dave, you fucking nudnik. 930 high break, you're in. And you want to see what was sick about this trade? My print was 47.38. Rips. I'm out. Day's pay. Less than 90 seconds, like my sex life. Bang, bang. I'm done. There's my day's pay. Next candle comes back to 47.38 to the penny. As if to say, here, you nudnik. Here's your chance. Do it now. Here's your chance. One more time. 47.38. Even if you got done at the half, bang, you're back in. Rip to the orange line. And boom. 2 or 3 days worth of pay. Chaparuski, yeah, you got a little bit overshot. And then reality sets in that the stock's going to zero. And you got reason to short it, right back to where it came from. Awesome. Awesome. So this is why I don't swing trade. This is why I don't do call spreads. This is why. Look how much stuff's happened today and yesterday and the day before. Have you been looking at this market for the last 3 months? You got no reason to hold overnights, no reason to do call spreads. You got no reason but to stay liquid and enjoy the rippage and the dippage and the rollage and the rip roaring dips and rips and rolls. It's almost every day. And I didn't think you were going to get a sell-off today. And it still showed up. And it was glorious. For some people, I didn't participate in it whatsoever. But it gave me an opportunity to buy Tesla back. Thank you very much, right? Come on. Faux show, bro. Let's go. So as much as I think that Hertz might be going to 12 or 15, I'd rather just stay out of it and trade it tomorrow. When it dips and rips, I'll get a better entry. So as much as I like a lot of these stocks, and Again, I do like the SRAD, and if you don't find this to be funny, you'll be crying. And if you don't start to find amusement in the folly of this nonsense that we're doing here, you will literally lose your fucking mind, and it won't be fun. See, I've lost my mind in a fun way. I could play with it, right? I'm insane. It's fun. But most people lose their mind and get very depressed about it. It doesn't end. It doesn't end well. I've been doing this long enough that you know there's no doubt I'm insane. I mean, I can't have normal conversations with like adults. All I want to talk about is blah, blah, VWAP, blah, blah, stock, blah, 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 blah. I'm out of my mind. Like I call other people normies now. Like if you're not a trader, I don't even know how to I don't even have a normal conversation with people. Like I really don't. It's crazy. I gotta start practicing. But look at this thing, right? So SRAD. If you don't find the funny part in this, man, I finally buy a stock. I got my son applying for a job at the company. So luckily, I only bought 100 shares, and I bought another 100 more today. Stupid. I got to buy another 100 soon, but I'm looking for it to get back to 22.50. But what was my point? Oh, my point was if you don't find it funny every once in a while, you'll be so depressed. This is a very hard. This is what makes it hard. The emotional distress and the emotional toll it puts on you. Yes, to that guy. And if you can't laugh about it, you'll be crying. You'll be sitting there. Yeah, I used to be a trader. It's tough business. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And the Hertz call spread is enticing, but I'm not doing it. So, but I did buy more SRAD. I'm going to go down with the ship apparently on this stock. Now, it's only day in. I'm not worried. I'd be worried if it breaks 1750. I'd be worried then. But let's see. It's 1:33, and it's been a riveting day. And that's what I've been talking about. This has been a different market because usually we get our move and then we just do nothing. There hasn't been a nothing moment in weeks. You don't got a chance to walk away. And if you just sit here, just like that Tesla trade, right? Come on. I didn't think I was going to get another chance at it. And then boom, thank you. I'm in. Made some money. Very nice. By the way, Hertz again. And let me talk about this Hertz one more time before I go. If it's breaking 939, right? Stop what you're doing and buy it. If it breaks prior highs after consolidating for a couple of days, and again, let me show you this. This is a weekly chart I'm showing you right here, but you can't really see it right here because that blue line's in your way. Hold on. That's better. Well, not really better, but that didn't help you at all. Hold on a second. So, you got your monster move. That was the news-driven event. Gapped it up, get ripped in the aftermarket. You don't see it here because it was an aftermarket rip. Consolidated, bought it that day. Consolidated, bought it yesterday. Consolidated, bought it today. If it breaks 939 and you start coming out of a 3-year downtrend, because you're still in an overall downtrend, but you break through that 3-year VWAP, you're looking at $14. And it could happen that day. That's what happens with these weird squeezy stocks that come out of the Andy Dufresne because they're still heavily shorted. And people are shorting it now because they're like, this thing's going to roll over and die. But if it doesn't roll over and die and is going to do another leg up, it's going to be a parabolic move. Minimum is 1085, 1175, and then you're gone to 14 and a quarter. That's why I don't mind doing an 18 call spread, a 9-18 call spread for $1. That's all I'm going to say about that. And just while I got you here, I might as well show you a couple other ones that did work. It was some stock I never heard of. VRT, VRT. Oh, I guess I have heard of it because I must have traded it. See, I don't even know. We trade so many stocks. If the red lines are on the screen, that must have been somewhere I traded the stock in the past. I guess last earnings. That's funny. But here it is today. Blue line to orange line. Blue line to orange line. Blue line to orange line. And this is one of those moments. I don't even know what this stock is. Don't care, right? Gapped up stock, breaks VWAP. Boop. You got paid. Comes back. You might have get stopped out of the rest right there if you were still short. But then rips back down, tests it from underneath. The underneath test without breaking above it is confirmation of weakness. Yes. So now you could short it on this roll and use those peaks on those candles as your outs. Just like every other trade. Identify your risk. Your reward is waiting for you because you've seen blue line orange trade work 100 million times at this point on earnings reports. So your entry, let's call it 82, 83.50 with $1 risk, and your reward was 5 points away. Risking $1 to make 5. And did you make the 5? Check that out. Double bottom at the orange line. As if it was programmed to go there. Because it was. All right, I'm going to go. The gardeners are here. All right, stay liquid, my friend. If you do like that call spread, I don't hate you for putting it on. Risking $1 to make $9. Even if you make a couple of points, it's still only $1 risk. Hertz, $9.50, $18 call spread for on May 16th. Peace.